In this video, you'll realize you're actually whole and complete. And stepping into the realization that it's time to let go of the cultural, societal, hypnotic mechanism, other people's opinions, is going to help you realize that you're not broken. So realize with real eyes. Only your eyes are the real ones here that can define you. Because where's your confidence? If you're confident in other people's opinions of you, well, then you're confident in that. If you lack confidence within yourself and how you want to show up in the world, well, then you're confident in that. And if you're confident in who you are and you know who you are at the core, you can show up in the world any way you want. And by that time, it's probably in a very loving manner. Someone who's already done the inner work. So, to step into that freedom from fear of the past is letting go is not this like grandiose thing. It's just the realization that you've picked up all this human baggage of other people's thoughts, beliefs. They're not yours. And have a coffee with me, Vency, your divine feminine empowerment and spiritual awakening coach. And I am here to move you from fear to freedom, from fog to clarity, from trauma to transcendence. Help you cultivate deep and meaningful relationships with others, romantic and non-romantic, and most importantly, supporting you falling completely in love with your life. And you already know, just like all good coaches, I'm gonna have coffee with you, or tea, whatever your preference is. While I give you a shove so you can fall in love with your life. That's probably one of my favorite. Let's get it. So what does that mean, right? It's just you realizing and letting go, literally, of the stuff that's been put in the back of your pickup truck that's been stuck there like Chuck. Time to just scrape it off. Because somebody can come up to you and they're like, yo, I don't like your blue hair. I don't have blue hair. Do I? And in the moment you start thinking, do I have blue hair? Wait a minute, is my hair blue? They must be right. They're right. My hair is blue now. And they don't like blue hair. Oh no, now I'm gonna show up in the world thinking I have blue hair and it's not good. You're not gonna ever be good enough if you keep believing people are telling you that you have blue hair. So just realizing you get to choose who you are and move with that comfort and freedom and knowing you don't have blue hair. And if you do have blue hair and someone doesn't like your blue hair, but they're not like gaslighting you where you're falling to the belief that you have blue hair when you don't. And if you actually do, and guess what? You get to honor the blue hair you chose to wear. Because imagine like a little kid coming up to you and they're like, oh, I, I don't like your shirt. I don't like your outfit. Okay, little kid. Like, your opinion really doesn't matter. Why would an adult change that? And you know what? Here, a lot of the times we seek validation and approval because we didn't get it from our parents growing up. And we always want to feel like we're good enough and worthy. I know I have. I mean, both of my parents at one point told me that their divorce was my fault. What the heck? There's a hair here. You right? And it's freaking hair, yo. And it's like my dad said it as in the midst of their divorce, and my mom when she was finally like alone and divorced, right after having an abusive dad for so long, and because she was alone and her codependency, and she was so used to having an abuser, she got mad at me one day. Doesn't know how to respond in a way she prefers, reacts over her emotions, blames it on being Bulgarian. No, it's just you, it's a choice. Yeah, I get it. You grew up in a culture where it's your behavior and your pattern, right? Just like everything else, like it's a behavior and a pattern you pick up from other people that are around you, and you believe this social, cultural, societal, hypnotic mechanism is a thing. So it gets stuck ingrained with you, right? Until you realize, I'm gonna do the inner work. I want to be different. I don't want to be like all of you. So point is, she reacts and she tells me, the divorce is all your fault. Now I'm alone and blah blah blah. And she's sad and grieving, right? That hurt when I heard that, especially from the person that asked me, please, Vancy, like, help me get this divorce. Like I need assistance. I'm from Bulgaria. My parents don't speak very much English, right? I mean, they do now. Except my mom always struggled. Well, up until now, she's been a lot way better in terms of like English stuff and handling things. This was like 6, 7 years ago, anyway. Either way, though, it hurt, and it's like a part of me kind of believed it, right? So I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I had a worthiness wound. Like, man, I wasn't even worthy growing up of my parents' love, and now I for sure am not, and everything's my fault. Like, oh, boo hoo for me existing. It's like, no, you can't take on that identity. I knew it was not true, right? Obviously, like I knew that. Yet there was a deeply wounded part of me from even growing up with them and how I was treated and neglected and abused, mainly from my dad. My mom just worked a lot. I barely had my mom. I had one time when I had a huge breakthrough and I was like driving home after partying because I was going through a weird time in my life where I partied a lot. And I had this realization, and like it was like freaking 10 a.m. and I was like driving home, and then I just like started bawling to my mom because I had this realization, like I'm like, I didn't have my mom. Like I'm like, where were you? Like, where were you my whole life? Like, I was like crying and driving home, and she's like, "What are you talking about? I've been here this whole time." I'm like, no, like you worked so much, and like you never, yeah, you were around at certain times, and most of the time you worked and worked and worked, and like you were never really there for me. But I was really trying to get out was like, we never really communicated, we never expressed feelings and emotions, and my mom still struggles with that because of the abuse my dad did, right? Because she ever spoke up and expressed things, she would get abused. And same here. Anyway, coffee sessions, always going down these rabbit holes. Point is like, you're not worthy to share your feelings. You're not, your feelings aren't valid. All these things and beliefs because of the abuse and the struggle and the pain and the suffering, and it's like you ingrain this, and it's like now you're walking in with new people in your life who do want to love you and support you, and it's like now you can't even open up to them, right? So there's the inner work. So going through this wormhole to figure out like where is it stemming from, and realizing like, yo, like none of this is true. All these beliefs, yeah, maybe I was abused and I suppressed my feelings, but that's a choice. It's becoming the awareness that it's a choice and you can let it go. You don't have to keep holding on to this belief, especially if you want a new life for yourself. And this gives you the opportunity to step through it, through that fire, even though it may burn a little. Start expressing and showing yourself up in this world the way you prefer. Being vulnerable. Vulnerable to how you express yourself and what you wear, and how you want to communicate with your feelings and your emotions, and letting go of the outcome, because people are always going to have opinions. That's the beauty of this, right? So you might as well do what you want, like in a good way, like don't go out there and like start doing bad things, like, oh, I'm gonna do whatever I want because Nancy says so. Like, yeah, no, like, do things from like a loving place. I mean, you're free to do what you want. That's the beauty of free will, right? Just remember, law of reflection, it's in place. What you put in is what you're gonna get back. Call it karma is the other name. So it's just realizing that you are worthy. And the more you step into being your full expression of self, and you let go of this baggage and all the fears, the more you will attract people, places, and things that are more in alignment with this new version of you, the version of you that you want to be. And you're not going to be putting on this mask or a smoke screen. That's not real. It's not the real you. Because once you do that, once you move into the highest timeline of yourself and your fullest expression, the rest of your world shifts, because this is all just a reflection of who you are and who you're being. So as long as you're choosing to live on your highest timeline, everything else will follow. There is a little lag time as you're clearing out these beliefs, this baggage you've held on to. So as you start letting it go, you're going to watch people, places, and things remove themselves out of your life. You don't need to just ask your spirit guides to do it. Your spirit guides are you on a higher consciousness basis when everything's connected to source, right? So you get to do it. You get to invite the destruction of people, places, and things by shifting and living to your highest timeline, and watch the beauty of beautiful things, people, places, and things show up in your life to replace those things. And by destruction, I mean like letting it go gracefully. Not like, yo, I hate you, get out of my life. Like, set boundaries, learn how to do that, enforce them. And it's like, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. It's been a pleasure to see you in my life and this growth and this experience. I wish you the best. And then move on. This is about you and your journey, about where you're wanting to go and how you want to grow and where you want to be. And is this place in alignment with the version of you and the vision and the vibrational bandwidth of who you want to be? Ask yourself that. Look around. Are the people, places, and things the version of you that you want to be? Are you the version of you that you want to be? So stepping in through doing the inner work and expanding yourself and your consciousness, you're going to start going on to your highest timeline where everything you want is. And guess what? What if I do cheer you on until you are good enough? Well, you are, right? And you really are. Woo! Congratulations. You deserve all the amazing, beautiful things in the world. Now, what I just did was, what did I just do? Yeah, I gave you praise and validation in a way, except that was just noise. That was just noise coming out of my mouth. And you identified those words and you added meaning to them that affected you in that way. Just like me saying, great color blue hair that you have when you don't even have it. And if you buy into that reality, you're going to believe it. So guess what? That exercise just shows you that you can choose from within to start feeling validated and approved and good enough. You don't need somebody else to say it or do it for you. It's all within. It's all that shift from within. Have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day, beautiful soul. Love and light vibration out. You got this. Bye. Oh, and like and subscribe and all that good stuff.